All right, Shalom. First off, give all praise unto Yahweh by Shemel Shai, by Shemel Karkadash, the waters of the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honor to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, and the women and children who follow. So I have another lesson, through the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai. I got an article I'm going to pull up real quick. Fuck it. This is from expresscode.uk. Okay, it says World War III. How Soviet Union had nuclear ace card capable of striking U.S. in minutes. Okay, so of course I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna read some of the article, but it brought me to it brought in mind, Revelations 10 saying, or like Revelation 18 and 10, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, at last, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Okay, and we're gonna go a little bit deeper on that, but that's just what came to mind automatically. I read a little bit of the article, but we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Okay, it says World War III would have been over in just 3 minutes had the Soviet Union been able to utilize its nuclear ace card, according to the claims in a documentary. Which I'm gonna try to find the documentary and watch it. It says in 1961, at the height of the Cold War tension, Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev ordered his military to build the first nuclear submarine equipped with three R-13 SLBMs, nuclear ballistic missiles. The K-19 sub was the product of a vigorous power struggle with the U.S. that almost reached boiling point. In 1957, the Sputnik 1 had become the first satellite to orbit the Earth, a victory in the space race, and Khrushchev wanted to dominate on all fronts. It was revealed during Amazon Prime's Doomsday Submarine series why he chose the K-19 to lead his fleet. The narrator explained in 1970 the K-19 is the USSR's first atomic-powered missile submarine able to launch a nuclear missile on the unsuspecting enemy in 3 minutes. And we've been taught that ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, don't take but an hour at most, depending on where you're at in the world, to reach its target. When you're in a submarine, you can get a lot closer. You're underwater, so you can get a lot closer than just being stationary on land. It's like it. It says it's a lethal combination of nuclear power and nuclear weapons. The Soviets are counting on her success. The K-19 is a technological marvel and a political triumph. She's the latest addition to Khrushchev's nuclear arsenal. Now, when you go back into the histories with dealing with nuclear warfare and whatnot, Germany was actually the leading power in the nuclear race. A lot of those, well, most of the German scientists went one way or the other. They either went to here, America, or they went over there to Russia. So that's when they had the Cold War and they were building up all these nuclear weapons. Okay, so they had pretty much the same scientists. But Russia is foremost the leader in the world in this nuclear technology game. All right, all their weapons, they'll come out and tell you, hey, look, we got a bomb that can blow up an area the size of Texas or France. And just that statement right there, the way that they worded it, they want to give you a relativity, should I say. They named a country, we can blow up the whole of France. So that puts a whole country on standby, on scared mode. But to say Texas or France, which they're pretty much the same size, but that gives America like, hey, look, Texas is one of your biggest states, one of your most populated states. We can blow that whole joint up. Okay, so it puts the United States on blast as well as other countries around the world to let you know that, hey, look, nobody's really safe if you really want to mess with me. So it gives them a level of respect that you have to pay them. Okay, it says in the late 50s and early 60s, the superpowers are obsessed with nuclear weapons. The series explains on how the submarine would have played a key role in the battle for supremacy, and detailed ballistic missile technology is changing with the balance of power. With the launch of Sputnik in 1957, the Soviets reached space. Um, Let me see, and that's actually a big thing as well, because they have the so-called Star Wars program, and because they're in space and they have all these satellites out there, they think they're going to stop the Lord when he comes back. That's their big goal. That's their big plan. Okay, like we said at the camp the other day, if you watch the movie Rim of the World on Netflix, it shows those plans. It shows how um, they had the so-called mothership coming in the very beginning and destroying one of the satellites and knocking down one of the satellites that was being held by a astronaut. And at the end of the movie, um, they had to send a signal to the satellite to shoot and destroy the mothership, so to speak, so that all the other ships can be defeated. So they not putting these in movies for no reason. They're putting this in movies to give people attention. It really is um, predictive programming. They want to show you what they want you to believe. Okay, not contrary to what the Bible says and what the Bible um, says that they're angels on those ships. That's what that will inside of a will is. Okay, but they want you to believe that it's aliens in it, that they're gonna attack, that they're beasts and monsters like they showed in Rim of the World. All right, they want to instill that fear in the fact of being an alien, opposed to instill the fear of the Most High. All right. Um, Says it's a propaganda triumph and the birth of intercontinental ballistic missiles. Sputnik is into orbit by the same rocket that can deliver a nuclear warhead to the United States. Okay, so that also was a big deal as well. The same thing that launched that satellite in outer space is the same thing that'll launch a missile all the way across the world. And like I said, that'll take about an hour. Soviet Premier Khrushchev, Slovakia, boasts of nuclear superiority and nuclear superiority instill fear in America's leaders. The documentary went on to explain why Khrushchev was so keen to get the K-19 into the water as fast as possible. The narrator adds, he uses his apparent nuclear advantage in the high-stakes poker game of international politics, which that's really what it is. It's really a high-stakes poker game, but well, it's a fixed game, I'll say, because of course they're going to give um, the appearance of being at war, but we all know that these devils control both sides. They've always controlled both sides of every war. So this is their stage. So when this so-called nuclear war happens, that they're gearing up for, in their mind, okay, it's not going to do nothing but jumpstart the world war, or excuse me, jumpstart the new world order. That's what their plans are. Okay, but they also know the scriptures, so they know that the Most High is gonna come back. They Yahweh Shem Yahshai, should I say, gonna come back. They know that um, these ships are gonna come. So like I said, what are they doing? They're taking those steps and measure. They already have plans to actually come together. They already have plans to try to shoot them out of the heavens. Okay, so that's really what it's about. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm put the link in the description. That's really all I really wanted from the article. I'm gonna read a little bit more of this in Revelations 18, verse 11. It says, "And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore, because America is the pretty much the biggest buyer of the world. All right, all of its goods. When you read or when you look at the tags and the labels, everything says made in China or somewhere else. You know, everybody's living deliciously off of America. Fuck it, because all of its imports, all of this, everybody's able to come over here and set up business and make money off the Israelites in the hood. You know, you got your Chinese people, they come over here and they open up their mid Ks and they little Chinese shops in the hood, you know, opposed to us opening, you know, we're the main ones that are buying those materials, but we're not making any money off of them. All right, we're giving all our money to China. Okay, they open up their little Chinese shops, you know, but we don't even support our own restaurants here. You know, that's a curse on our people. All right, look at the Arabs. They come over here. They open up their little bodegas. They open up their corner stores. Okay, they open up their clothing stores, but we don't support uh, our own clothing stores that we have here locally. We don't support black business as in general. Okay, and it's harder for us to start business because we weren't taught business. So it's it's a whole circle, but that's a whole nother lesson. We're talking about how the foreigners are mourning because they're not able to make money off of us anymore. All that oil that America was buying, that's out the window. Everything America's a big, like I said, a big ruse. Okay, everybody's getting rich off of America. It says the merchandise of like gold and silver and precious stones, and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thy wood, and manners of vessels of ivory and manners of vessels of precious wood and brass and iron and marble, cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oils and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. It says, and all the fruits of thy soul, all the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all the goodly things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all, because America is going to be destroyed. So all that opportunity is going to be gone. Okay, the merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand off far off and weep, and shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing. It's saying, at last, that great city which was clothed in fine linen, and decked in purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors, and by as many trade by the sea stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? All right, because when America gets his judgment, you're going to be able to see the smoke from across the world. You're going to be able to see. It said, I believe when Mount St. Helens blew, you can see the smoke and all the ash, all around the world, because the world spins on the axis. So all that smoke gets up in the atmosphere, and as it rotates, it goes across the world. So and I believe I don't remember the exact um, figures. You can look it up. But when Mount St. Helens blew, it blew X amount of times the size of the Hiroshima bomb. Okay, but these ICBMs that we have now are way more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb. Okay, so it's going to be the same concept, but on a much larger scale because it's not just one mountain, one volcano that's blowing. It's the whole um, continental United States that's going to be on fire, that's going to be destroyed. So, with that being said, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Kadash. You know, double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, and the children who follow. Shalom.